Welcome to Whispers of Resilience, our MS Stories podcast, where Justine Martin, the Queen of Resilience, sits down with each incredible author featured in this highly anticipated anthology. In this captivating series, we delve into the depths of each author's chapter, exploring the hows and whys behind their desire to share their experiences with multiple sclerosis. Prepare to be inspired as these courageous souls recount their triumphs, their challenges, and the resilience that fuels their spirits.
Welcome back, listeners, to Whispers of Resilience, our MS story. Today I've got with me Laura. How are you, Laura?
Good, thanks. How are you going?
Not too bad. As we were just discussing, I started the day with a migraine, so we're on a tight schedule and we've got to get this one recorded. So here we are today. It's amazing what we can do when we set our mind to it, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's talk about your contribution into this project.
Yes.
Why did you want to contribute? Why did you want to write your chapter?
I wanted to write my chapter to let people know exactly what it was like for me to go through the whole process of being diagnosed with MS and the treatment of MS and all the rest of it, and that to let people know they're not alone, and then other people have been through it too, and we survived.
Well, we are surviving, aren't we?
Of course.
Yeah. So how long have you had MS?
Oh, I got MS when I was 15 years old, and I was going through the last stages of high school.
Yeah.
And I didn't know back then what it was, and they were saying, oh, it could be this or it could be that. So they just weren't quite sure what was going on. And it kept happening. And then finally I went to a neurologist, and that the first time I heard the words MS was from my neurologist. He said, yeah, I think it's MS. And I go, well, what's MS? I have no idea what that is. And he started to explain it to me. And of course I was in tears, great depression for a long time.
Yep.
And it was very hard.
You've gone on to do some amazing things.
I think I have.
Oh, you have. You've been to uni?
Yes, I went through uni. I did a Bachelor of Arts degree and a diploma in education.
Yep.
And that took 5 years of my life.
Yep.
But I loved it. Loved it. And then after that, I was married and all that was good.
You've had some children.
And I had 2 children, and they're just the best. They do everything.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
So we've established, why you wanted to write your chapter.
Yes.
Talking about your chapter, because it's a very powerful chapter, yours is, Laura. Is there something else you wanted to write in it, but you didn't have enough word space left, or do you think you've covered everything?
I think I wrote the most of it, but however, the emotional pain of it was really severe. It was very hard to cope with.
To write it?
To revisit the whole situation, because I've been in denial for a long time, and I would just try and go on, and it's all right, keep going, but the reality is still there.
I think that was for a lot of the authors as well. I mean, we've all lived through it, but we kind of lock those memories away as a coping mechanism to keep moving forward.
Yes.
And then to actually physically write it down can be challenging. But by writing it, and what we've found as well is that by writing it down, you no longer have to carry them in your head, because they're down somewhere else, and that seemed to help a lot of the authors.
I think so.
Yeah.
And I think a very important part of all of this is probably not now, but later on, I would love my children to read this. I don't want to sort of just throw it at them at the moment because they're young and they're excited about life and all the rest of it. But a bit later, I would love to give this book to them.
They might pick it up and read your chapter anyway, Laura.
Yes, I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
It's the same with my kids. I mean, mine live with, knowing about it, and I'm such an advocate in trying to raise awareness and that.
Yes.
So for them to read it is different for them to live it. And I know my daughter-in-law, and she'll probably be listening to this, she reads everything that I've written.
Yes.
And that makes me very proud, and I'm sure you're very proud of achieving this. So, Laura, what are some of your interests that you're now into? I know what they are, but let's
Okay. At the moment, my major interest is my art classes that I do with Justine and Joe.
Yep.
And it's great because I can express things and create things, and I've given some of them to other people that the stuff that I've done, and they love it.
Yeah.
They actually have displayed it in an all abilities gym, which myself and my partner Anthony have opened up to.
And they're great paintings. You should be proud of what you've achieved.
I think that they're happy and joyful and they're nice. Yes.
They are. And so they're paintings of people lifting weights, and it's in a pop art kind of style.
It is pop art. I love pop art.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
My house is full of pop art lifts everywhere, as you know. So, So where to from here with your writing? Do you think you'll do more?
I think I will do more because, one, it's an expression for myself to get out, and I think it's important for other people to read about the MS journey. Yes.
Yeah.
And that it's not all so tragic and horrible and all the rest of it, because there's light. There's light at the end of the tunnel. And at the end of the day, it's going to be okay.
Yeah, yeah. And, we have to adapt and modify around our disabilities, but we still live a very rewarding and full life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And, thanks to NDIS as well in giving, the funding there that helps with disability support workers and classes like you're now going to, and getting out into the community and doing things and still being a vital member of society.
Yes. That's very true.
Rather than, decades ago being, put away and wouldn't that be horrible?
Horrific.
Yeah. Yeah. So you spend the majority of your time in a wheelchair?
Yeah, well, I do now, but before I didn't. When I was better, I was teaching adult migrants English. It was the best job because you would teach them English, and after a while they got so good at it that they began to get rewarding kind of jobs. And was very different from their country where it was war-torn and, it was a tragic situation. So when they got to learn English, they developed the confidence and the skill to actually find a job. And I felt proud because I was part of it.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So what else do you do on a day-to-day basis, Laura?
Okay. On a day-to-day basis, I'm with my kids and Anthony, and of course they have to go to school and get all the preparation, get them ready for school. And Anthony says I do way too much for them and just to let them go and do it themselves. But I love to do it.
You do?
Makes me feel important.
And are you like me that if I can still do something, I will?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
And
do.
so, people will offer to help or, oh, let me do that for
No.
you. It's like, no, if I can still do it, I want to
would
be
do
able
it.
to do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. You do a lot of cooking.
I love cooking. Absolutely. And
What's your favourite dish to cook?
I love spaghetti, chili con carne. I love
Yum.
meat dishes and everything. I
Yeah.
love all things Italian, of course, and Indian now has become a very popular
Do you make
dish.
butter chicken?
Yes, I do.
Oh,
I
yum.
do.
I only eat butter chicken if it's chicken breast, not chicken thighs.
Oh, why's that?
I don't eat the butt end of a chook.
Oh, if you say it that way, I'm not going to eat it either.
Since going through chemo, my taste palette has changed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I find that the thighs and the drumsticks are too gamey.
Oh,
and it's a different taste, and I just don't like the taste or the texture. So some may call me a princess, but
I don't think so, because I've actually had the same. Like, everybody knows I don't like chicken in this house, and they're going, why don't you like chicken? I go, just can't do it.
Yeah, and lamb as well changed for me. Lamb became too strong a meat.
Yes.
To eat as well.
Yes.
So when you have MS, if you're listening out there, sometimes your taste is affected.
It is.
By it. And you smell. I don't know about you, Laura, but I'm hypersensitive in smell. I went for a walk this morning with my PT, and we were walking along the river, and there was something dead down there. It was gross. And I'm like, oh, my God, can you smell that? And he's like, smell what? And I'm like, seriously, can you not smell that? And it's like, no. And I'm like, this bloody nose and hypersensitivity.
I think that's true, because even when I have a shower,
yep,
and I can smell shampoo that someone else has bought, I go, yuck, what's that stink? I just can't stand that. I can't stand it. So I have to use a separate shower. So
body odor, you name it, I'll smell it before anyone else smells it. So yeah, horrible. What other MS symptoms do you have, Laura?
Sometimes what's happened to me, and it's only been lately, I'm tending to forget things a lot. And Anthony goes,
welcome to my life.
I know. Anthony said to me, it was only yesterday. Don't you remember? It was yesterday. I go, no. And so he said to me, put a whiteboard on the fridge. He gave me a texter and he said, write it down there so you remember. I
have to write everything down.
Yeah.
If I'm having a conversation with someone, and it's a business meeting and that, I've got to write things down so I can refer back to it. I can't remember people's names.
It's true. It's very true.
Yeah, and everything has to go on my calendar straight away. I can't remember the date and the time, and that if it's an appointment, it's like, put it straight in my phone, in my calendar. But you learn to adapt. When you realise what the issue is, it's like, oh, well, okay, I have to write that in. And I'm that bad that when I'm going to a new car park, or a car park, I have to make sure I park in the same area each time or I lose my car. And if it's a new car park, I take a photo of where I've actually parked the car so I can find it to get back again. The struggle is real with these things. And so even doing these podcasts, I can't remember the questions that I've asked you at the beginning. So we may repeat some of the questions. You won't remember what you said.
I'll try and remember too.
Now, I'm sure I've asked you why you wrote your chapter. We've done that one.
Yes.
And I've asked you about, did I ask you about, was there something you didn't write? But you said that you covered all that, didn't you? Is that you?
I'm not really.
All right, so let me ask that question again, and apologies if we've already asked it and answered it. Yeah. But the struggle is real today with both of us. And that tends to happen when you're tired, when you're fatigued, that we do forget if we've done things. So was there anything else you wanted to put into your chapter? Now she's thinking.
I would like, I often think about what the future's going to be like and what the doctors have said it will be like, and I'm just trying very hard. We're all trying really hard to find a way to create a different reality from what the doctors have said. Because they've always said to me, I say to them, I still say to them, is there ever going to be a cure? Is there going to be a cure for this condition? And they say to me, no, not in your lifetime.
Yeah, well, I call that bull.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I think we were talking the other week when, you know, the MS Australia had ads on the radio saying that within 10 years, you know, they are close. And this book, 25% of the profit of this book is going directly back to MS research.
Oh, wow.
And so if you're listening out there and you'd like to purchase a book and read Laura's chapter, it can be downloaded on Kindle. It will be available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, all the big bookstores online, as well as resilienceMindset.com.au, and you can buy it directly through me and we post them out. So, you know, we've got to live in hope, Laura.
Yes, of course we do.
Yeah. But I was interviewing a few of the other authors and we were saying, wouldn't it be great that this book becomes a part of history?
Wow.
Yeah. So when there is a time when there's no more MS, wouldn't it be nice that people referred back to this book on what it used to be like to live with MS?
Yeah, I think it's really important because when I was diagnosed with the condition, I've never felt so scared and alone in my life because no one knew anything about it, and it was this thing that they told me.
And you were so young.
And I was 16. I was so young.
Yeah, yeah. There's we've got someone else in the book, and she was 13, 14.
Yes.
So there's a couple of you that were diagnosed younger. How old are you now, Laura?
Oh, too old to speak of. I don't like.
You're younger than me, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
Whisper. What year were you born? Very old. She's very old. She's not going to tell me. She's not a grandmother.
No, not yet.
Unlike me, I've got 7.
Oh my God.
I'm old. I've just made her feel better.
Oh, my kids have just got boyfriends now. And the whole world has changed.
Yes,
and the whole world has changed.
Yes, it does. And, you know, every decade they go into, it gets different.
It is.
Yeah. Someone said to me the other day, does parenting get any easier? I said, no, it just changes from every decade. You're no longer wiping their poopy bums, but you're wiping their kids' poopy bums. That's where I'm up to.
Grandma.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So we've covered, you know, that you want to write some more down the track.
Yes.
And tell me about the process of, the process of writing.
Yes.
Did you have to really stop and think about what you were going to say, or did that come quite easily?
No, it's all there. So I'm very ready to tell anyone who wants to listen my story and what's happened. So yeah.
And you do. You are a shining example to the MS community, that you're still out there getting back into life and creating artwork. And
I think so. My partner Anthony has opened an All Abilities gym. So it's a gym specially designed for people with disabilities. And I love going in there because all the machines, all the equipment there is specially designed for disabled people. So we can do the exercises, and the trainers are great. They're trainers who have studied how to help people like us.
It is an amazing little gym, and that's located in Grovedale,
Yes.
in Geelong. And in the show notes for this, and in the book as well, Laura definitely mentions the gym and where it's located. What's the address?
So it's the corner of Grovedale and Llewellyn Street in Grovedale.
Yeah. And it's a nice little gym in there. I did a live stream from there not so long ago with the guided tour around there. Tony wasn't too impressed yet to speak on camera, but we got him there.
Okay.
Just like you didn't want to speak on camera today.
No, yes.
But we've got her there. Look at the smile on your face. See, it's not
all
that bad.
Good now. It's all good.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And, there'll be thousands of people watching this later on, but we won't freak her out with that.
Oh, thanks for telling me that, Justine.
You've had your hair done. It's fine.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
Yeah, last time I saw Laura, which was Monday, she had the same colour hair as me, and I've walked in today going, when did that happen?
I know.
It looks great.
Well, I just wanted something different because I don't want to just sit back and do nothing. Do change. I like to change all the time to keep things interesting.
Fresh.
Yes.
Fresh, yeah, that's right.
Yes.
And you did. You shocked me when I came in, but it looks amazing.
Thank you, Justine.
You're welcome. I see Laura every Monday, and she comes to Just Art Wellness classes here in Geelong. So if you are in Geelong and you are looking for a creative space, we take plan managed and self-managed clients as well. And we also have another writing group going for Morpheus writing. So out of this project of you all writing your chapters, we've had about 6 that want to write their memoirs, and so, which is fantastic. So now they meet with me for 1-to-1 half-hour sessions a week, via phone, via Zoom, and 2 community sessions a week where they all come in and look out in the next 12 to 18 months, because through Morpheus Publishing we're going to have a lot of amazing memoirs that are being written. And one of the authors who has limited mobility from the neck down, she's written some amazing poems and does mouth painting. So she can't hold a paintbrush in her hands anymore. Okay. So she has this special device that she pops in her mouth and can paint with her mouth. And so she's putting a book together a little bit about her life, her poems, and her painting. So, it just goes to show that you can adapt and modify and still tell your story. And who are you hoping that your story helps?
I'm really hoping other people who have been diagnosed, and it would be great if they read this and they didn't feel so alone and so suicidal. I was very suicidal at the time when I was told that. So if this can help people to say, okay, I can get through this with the help of other people or whoever, that is the gift that I would like to give to people.
Yeah, and I'm sure that they will, take inspiration and motivation from all the chapters, including yours. And that's what the book was for, was to help those that are sitting alone and realise that life still goes on. It may take on a different meaning or a new pathway, but there is still really good things that are in your life and that are to come in your life, and you just have to learn how to adapt and modify around it. And every day is different with us. Every day is different with you. Sometimes we're better, sometimes we're a lot worse. Again, having the patience just to adapt to it.
I think so.
This book will help so many people, whether you have MS or not.
I think so. I think it'll help people who have got MS, and I think it'll really help other people in a family or in a group
the MS
of people.
community.
just for them to realize how important it is to have other people help out, or to understand even what you're going through.
Because most people know of MS but don't know what MS actually does on a day-to-day basis, and this book will definitely highlight that and show the difference.
Yeah, I think so, because you can read the definition of MS, what it is, but that's different from living it. It's very different from the tech explanation of what it is.
Yeah. Totally agree on that one. Yeah. So a final word?
Yes.
Anything that you want to, share with the listeners, the audience out there?
I just want to say thank you for sort of reading and just sort of trying to understand what's going on. I think it's so important.
Yeah, for sure. And again, if you want to purchase your own copy, resiliencemindset.com.au, as well as Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and all the other platforms, and Kindle. We are going to get it on Audible as well. We're just not sure of the release date for Audible at this stage. I've got to sit and record it all. So we'll see how I go with that, sitting in my wardrobe when I do that one, because there's strict rules for Audible and what you can and you can't do. So anyway, thank you so much today, Laura, for coming on and having a chat. I know this put you outside your comfort zone, but you've done wonderfully well today.
Thank you.
And to everyone else, thank you for joining in and listening to Laura and myself. And until next time, you all stay healthy.
Are you ready to be inspired? Get ready for the book that will touch your heart and ignite your spirit. Whispers of Resilience, Personal Stories of Living with MS is now available for purchase. Have you ever wanted to peek into the lives of individuals who have triumphed over adversity? Look no further. This highly anticipated anthology brings together a group of exceptionally talented authors, all living with multiple sclerosis, who share their personal journeys with unyielding honesty and vulnerability. At www.resiliencemindset.com.au, you can now secure your copy of this remarkable book that captures the essence of resilience, hope, and the power of the human spirit. Dive into the stories that will captivate your imagination and open your heart to the triumphs and challenges faced by these courageous individuals. With each turn of the page, you'll witness the unbreakable spirit of these authors, as they navigate the unpredictable terrain of MS. Their words will inspire you, uplift you, and remind you of the incredible strength that lies within. Visit www.resiliencemindset.com.au now and embark on a transformative journey through the pages of Whispers of Resilience. Get your copy today.